can't remember when I first started painting because I think I was so young, like most kids, I just loved painting and drawing, but I suppose I got more involved in it through studying O-level, A-level, and then did a foundation course and got into art college at Manchester, and that was it really. I just got more and more drawn into it. It's probably about 10 years after leaving college where I started to exhibit regularly and here and there. And then I suppose I got a big break in that I was offered an exhibition at the Lowry Centre when it first opened in 2000, and it got a lot of media and press attention, so I kind of went from having exhibitions to a few hundred people to thousands and thousands, so it made a big difference to how I was kind of perceived. When it comes to subjects, I think I just sort of keep my eyes open, and I think sometimes they choose me really. I don't set out with any agenda unless, for instance, I'm making a specific trip to New York, and obviously I'm looking for sort of iconic subject matter, but quite often it just sort of jumps out at me really, and it's quite selective. It could be just a particular time of day or something, or just as it's about to go dark and something just sort of catches my eye. I mean, it's really as simple as that, and quite an instinctive thing. I certainly don't go out with any preconceived idea of what I'm going to be painting. Well, I suppose this would be a fairly typical subject of mine. It's Manchester, and it's at the end of Deansgate, where Deansgate meets Whitworth Street, and there's just this. It's quite a dynamic part of the city because you've got all these arches, you've got the canal, you've got the trams, you've got the railway, you've got the roads. So it all kind of combines to make a lot of movement, a lot of interest for me as an artist. And I'm often drawn to this time of the day, you know, even on a pretty uninspiring day when it starts to go dark and the lights come on. There's something there for me to work with. Yeah, this is obviously not Manchester. It's New York, and it's another great city and somewhere that I've been to a few times and made a bit of work of. I think if you like cities, New York is kind of the ultimate really, and just the fantastic buildings and all the energy of the place, and I guess I'm trying to get that into the painting. Well, this is a painting of London, a fairly recent one. It's a city that I've painted off and on. It's not something I've devoted a great deal of attention to, but obviously usually my trips are there to look at art, and on the way I try and pick up subjects here and there. This is a painting of Cornwall, the beach that we go to quite a lot on family holidays, and I've gone to Cornwall over the years, really since leaving college and painting there, and this is a subject that's attracted me recently. It's one of the surf schools, and more people are surfing, and it's quite an interesting subject. Everyone gets given the same board, and everyone has to wear the same t-shirt, so that when they're in the sea, the instructors can see who's who and know where their little brood is and that they're safe. And so I think the fact that you get this coordinated colour and these vivid yellows and blues and all the movement, it's a subject that I've done quite a few paintings of recently. Well, there's been a lot of artists that I've admired and been inspired by over the years. People like Frank Auerbach early on, Ivan Hitchens, a lot of English artists, but probably mostly French impressionists. And in a way that's quite interesting, the way Valette fits into that story, because he kind of imported it to Manchester almost when it was a bit of an unknown quantity. So Valette's paintings have been quite an influence, especially small outdoor paintings. I've got one painting hanging in the Valette gallery, and it's really nice to be seen in that kind of context, really, historical context of people like Valette and Lowry, other artists that have been influenced by them. And yeah, it's great to have things hanging in Manchester Art Gallery. And I had an exhibition there in '96 as well, so it's I mean, that probably would have been something I would have thought would have been a dream really to show there when I was a younger artist, because it was somewhere I went to look at great art, and I didn't really think that I'd be in there, but thankfully it's worked out that way.